Batasang Pambansa. Let me get back to our analysts here, or commentators, if you may. The style of leadership. Did you think everybody else was thinking of a different style of leadership when he assumed his role as president, or is he now defining for himself, this is what I will be and you better take me for how I do my business as president? Is that, or you think he will try to adjust to how people think he should be running this country?
No, more or less, I think he has defined himself.
He's defined himself. You see that in the way cabinet meetings or cabinet cluster meetings are held, and he doesn't call for big cabinet meetings, and they have a reason for that. So how do you see his style? What is the President Aquino's style of leadership?
Well, as I've said earlier, it's a more passive but positive approach to power. I think it's also a passive in the sense that he is not one to exercise the institutional trappings of the presidency.
But does he come up with ideas on what on how to go about improving, let's say, the different programs that are being presented to him by cabinet secretary?
Of course, from what I know, and I've also had the opportunity of seeing him in person when he was congressman, I think he is a very, very brilliant individual. He's well-read. He's actually a policy wonk. In fact, it's
policy what?
Wonk.
Wonk.
Okay. Somebody who's into policy, who would look at a particular bill or a budget and would really look at all the nitty-gritty of that.
And that's a real shame, because his three communicators don't seem to bring that out.
Exactly.
My God, you know, it means something that someone is interested. I remember Marcos, talk about a real intellectual. Marcos was, but his men allowed him to project that. It was heavy, Marcos's message. If he is like that, why are they stopping him? Why are they trivializing him?
Yeah, and this speech definitely does not bring that across. It is not a speech that capitalizes on his perhaps intellectual gifts. No, I mean, because for me, if I were to analyze how he delivered it, it's more to the massa. I think that was the stakeholder that he was addressing it to. It wasn't to Congress.
Yes.
He wasn't saying this will be the legislative policy that I want you to do because of the state of the nation. That's why, personally, to do a little bit of a critique in terms of style, I really prefer, if I can pat Teddy Boy a little bit on the back, I prefer the speeches, let's say, Cory's speeches, even some Gloria's, because there's a bit of a higher tone. This is more, it's more, there were jokes in the, like the first time that there was really like a joke in the speech itself.
It was a good joke.
Oh, it was a good joke. Oh, that was a good joke.
Well, I think one factor to consider here is it's part of the generation shift also, and he's addressing a different public. We have a younger public. We are no longer. This is the generation that we call the millennials. And this is no longer the generation X, Y, Z of the 90s, but rather this is a new Facebook, Twitter type of generation. And I think his message is targeted towards this constituency more than anyone else.
Well, if that's the case, then he should really be allowed to bring out what you say are his gifts, because tweeting and Facebook really require you to show that you have something between your ears.
Yeah, true.
And this is not what his communicators are doing.